All right, so this was fun. Okay, so this is what I in the chat came up with. Well, actually, you know what? I'll leave this in there. You guys did say that should be included. That's pretty rough. I don't want to include the 2026, but I think that this actually makes sense. So if we want to keep these guys, right? And I think all of us do. We want to keep Devin Vassell. We want to keep Victor. We want to keep Castle. We want to keep Sohan, unless you don't know basketball. So we want to keep all these players, right? We want to keep them. We want to keep them intact. We really do believe in Devin at least being a third best player on the team, maybe fourth. Victor Wembanyama is the man. Steph Castle has a lot of potential. Jeremy Sohan, he's your glue guy, your get to work guy, does the nasty work. You really need that type of player on your team. So you're looking pretty nice right here. Okay, you're looking pretty nice. And then you add a star point guard in the mix, which obviously the Spurs still need a point guard. I'm not fully bought in that Castle will be like our future point guard or whatnot, but I think that's pretty good. So if you want to keep all these players, you're going to have to do a 3-team trade, and it makes sense for the Bulls to want to begin to rebuild, right? They've been just mediocre continuously, and yeah, it's time. It's time. Hopefully they grow up and just say, hey, it's time to go ahead and trade. Get some things out of this, right? Get some things out of this. They might want more. I don't know what else you can supply them with, but they might want more than this. And then it makes sense for the Kings, because the weird thing is the Kings have stated, like I said, that they're thinking about, oh, we want to win now, right? They're not thinking about a rebuild. That's why I brought up Castle initially when we first talked about this, because we thought, oh, maybe they're ready to just like kind of, blow it up a little bit, like a little mini blow up. But no, they want to continue to win. And if they want to continue to win, I'm not fully bought in that Devin Vassell will suffice, and I'm definitely not bought in that rookie Steph Castle will suffice. If you want to stay afloat and you're just doing a trade with the San Antonio Spurs, how much do we have to give up for you to feel like, oh yes, I'm comfortable that we're still a playoff team and we can compete? Devin Vassell is not gonna do that. I don't think you can convince him of that. Steph Castle's not gonna do that. It's be silly to give rid of Sohan anyways, because I don't want to lose the power forward position and then gain a point guard. I just don't want to do that trade-off. But that doesn't make sense. The only thing that would make sense is they get Zach LaVine, a guy that they've been wanting forever. So I think that they take that. You get 4 first-round picks. You get Zach LaVine. You get Keldon. And it looks crazy that, oh, you're giving up so much. But a lot of these are, like, not that big of a deal, right? So, like, for instance, one of those picks that we're getting rid of was a swap for the Kings. Or it was a Kings swap that we initially had for 2031. So we're just giving that back. We gave the Bulls their first round pick back, right? Which, it may or may not convey anyway, so why not just give them that back? We got rid of a Hornets first round pick. That's just going to be a second round pick after this season anyways. I think that's a win for the Spurs. This is kind of crazy. That is true. The Kings are a mess and they shouldn't be too greedy. Our trade work. Yeah, they do ask for a lot. Other teams only want Vic, Castle, Sohan, maybe Devin Vassell or KJ. Let's keep it. But there you go. This is not that much. I know it looks like a lot on paper, but when you really break down what you're getting rid of, it's not that big a deal at all. We're giving them away our 2025, our personal one, which I don't like doing that. But the only reason why we're doing that is because if you add De'Aaron Fox to this roster right now, the Spurs are probably in the playoffs. Yeah, you're probably a playoff team, and your pick won't be as great as it would have been if we were just a bad team. So why not? You're not getting rid of that much. This ain't that big a deal. De'Aaron Fox is that good. And the wording that Shams has used for De'Aaron Fox going to another team is that they'll settle for a rental. How do you think teams feel about that? If they know, okay, we trade for De'Aaron Fox, we give you all this stuff, but like he's just a rental. How would they feel about that? They probably wouldn't like that much, right? I don't think this trade is that crazy. I think you guys were like pretty good with it. Saying you get rid of Chris Paul is wild though. That's wild. I don't know if I want to get rid of Chris Paul. I mean, I would if I have to. I will if I have to, but yeah. And then the Kings. Well, hold on. The Kings. I don't think there's any way they give us Alex Lynn. The Kings kind of need a point guard. I don't know if there's anyone on the Bulls they will be interested in. Unless we have to give them Blake Wesley, which I don't know if they want Blake Wesley. Bulls already have Lonzo Ball. Giving them Kobe White. They're probably not going to get rid of Kobe White like that. I don't know. Yeah, we'll let them figure it out. That has nothing to do with us. All I care about is what the Spurs are getting rid of. And I think this is nice. I think this is a pretty nice trade. Anyways, yeah. Don't know why Kings are trying to ask for win now players. They're not in the position to ask for that much, to be honest. No idea. But if that's what they want, that's what you have to supply. We can't supply that, right? Like, I just don't see how the Spurs supply that. Because I'll tell you this right off the bat. I don't think the Spurs get rid of 2 cornerstone players or possibly important players for the future. Like, I don't see them saying, okay, we'll give you Devin and Castle. First off, maybe that's enough for the Kings to say, oh, okay, yeah, that's win now players. But I don't think it is. I'm not saying that that's too much for De'Aaron Fox because he's that good, but like, what? No? Sohan? No? So adding Sohan to a team and saying, all right, now this is a playoff. All right, now we're ready to roll. That is not smart. Sohan's a really good player, but he's not De'Aaron Fox good. Like, he's not a trade straight up for De'Aaron Fox type deal. The only thing that makes sense is just thinking about guys they've already been interested in, and they've been interested in Zach LaVine since early 2024, So that's a player where you grab him and you're like, oh yeah, we're ready to win, or we're a playoff team now still, or we're a playoff team. That's the thing. We don't have to find win now players for the Kings. They are forced to deal with us on our terms. That is true. And I guarantee you the Spurs will attempt to talk all of this down. If they were to do something like this, they'll talk all of it down. And they're in a sticky situation. I don't agree with any Spurs fan saying, and I understand the mindset, but I don't understand. I don't agree with anybody saying like, oh, just wait till 2026. We'll get him in 2026. You can have his bird rights now. You get him now. This is the best case scenario. Waiting till 2026. First off, I don't think it'd be very beneficial for us, right? As far as the new contract or what that would look like. But number 2, honestly, I think he's gone. I don't think that the Kings can afford to wait till 2026. You just force him to play for another year just cause, and hopefully you do a sign and trade. I don't think that's going to happen. He wants out. It's obvious. It's been reported everywhere that he really prefers San Antonio. A lot of times they don't like things getting out that a player requested a trade or demanded a trade or whatnot because it looks bad. Like, the agents don't want that to like be a thing. But they'll nudge organizations and saying, yes, like, find us somewhere else. So you trade him now. You're right, Clan. Kings will trade him. Yet there's no way out of this. It would just be foolish for them just to wait another year. Right now is the best time. He has an extra year on his contract. And if you trade him away, you know, like Sham said, that teams might see it as a rental, right? Like, okay, you get this rental, but at least you get him for another year. You don't just wait it out. His trade value is going to be terrible by next year. And then you might just get nothing. So if you're going to trade him, you do it now. So, yeah. So I'll leave this here. We'll see what the YouTube people have to say about it whenever we upload this quick segment. But I like this trade. I think it's pretty nice. So once again, you're getting rid of 4 players. You're getting rid of 6 first-round picks, but it's not exactly. It doesn't tell the full story, okay? There's a couple swaps. There's one that's going to convey into a second anyways, so does it really matter? So 2 of them, we're just giving it back. So we're giving a swap back to the Kings. We're giving a swap back to the Bulls. You know, kind of just giving it back. And then we're giving them, you know, ours that won't be that great in 2025 if we get De'Aaron Fox. So really, you know, it's about 2 that are pretty doggone good. What if Kings demand Jeremy? No. I mean, we already gave up 6 first-round picks in this swap. You already got Zach LaVine. We already given up Keldon Johnson and a young talent in Malachi Branham in this trade. I'm not giving you anything else. That's a whole nother trade. I'm taking quite a bit off the board if I had to give up Sohan. If it's just straight up Sohan for De'Aaron Fox, I don't like that trade-off. I don't like the idea of our second best defensive player, power forward at that we have to search for another power forward. I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay, we made our point guard better. Now we have to go search for a power forward. I would much rather, okay, we get rid of a guard. We get our guard, right? And we still have the same problems we had before where we still need a small forward. We still need a backup big. That's fine. We'll figure that out. But I don't like the idea of this for that. But getting rid of Devin Vassell or Steph Castle makes a little bit more sense because it's like, okay, you're getting rid of guard for guard. Sure. You know what I mean? But once again, if those are guys on the table, then I'm not doing this. This just seems like a good case scenario. Third team Houston, maybe? He and his wife are Texans out here. Third team Houston because he and his wife are Texans? I know they live in or they have a house in San Antonio. But like the Rockets? What do you mean? Like who on the Rocket? Because Kings want a win now player. Who on the Rockets would the Rockets be willing to give up to the Kings? I don't know. Is there any player that they would be willing to give up to the Kings? And the Kings will say, oh, yeah, that's good enough? 3-team trade because Rockets have good players. But the Rockets are in a really good position right now. You know, if you get a third team involved, they need to be in ruins somewhat. And the Rockets are second in the West. I don't see why they would mix up anything. They have an almost 70% win rate. I would not do anything if I'm the Rockets, you know. True. Yeah. I mean, it'd be cool for us, you know, if they want to get involved, I guess, but like there's no players that they would be willing to give up if we want to hold on to ours. And I also don't think that ours is good enough. I don't think Vassell and Castle is good enough for a win now mentality from the Kings. His defense? Wait, what are you responding to? De'Aaron Fox's defense is not that good? Is that what we're talking about? Why Fox? We have Castle? Guys, De'Aaron Fox is really good. Like he's star level. He's really good. If Castle could get to De'Aaron Fox's level, that would be awesome. I don't want to get rid of. I already said this though. This is why we did the whole trade. I don't want to get rid of Castle, but De'Aaron Fox is that good. Fox or Trae Young? Okay, Trae Young is a different conversation because we would have leverage there too. These fans are emotionally attached. I think a big part of it is because Castle is the rookie, right? And I don't want to get rid of him. I wouldn't do it, or I'll be very super hesitant. I would rather do something like this, so the Spurs just keep growing and we're not worried about because we needed a point of attack defender on the perimeter, and Castle's that. So I don't necessarily want to get rid of that. But De'Aaron Fox he's really good. Matter of fact, this is the last thing I'll bring up because I bring this up a lot, but you need to keep this in mind, okay? Steph Castle is a phenomenal defender, in my opinion. Even as a rookie, he's really good. He's adjusted to NBA speed brilliantly. And out of all of his matchups, the one player that's given him the most headache has been De'Aaron Fox. Over the course of 3 games, De'Aaron Fox field goals made 10, field goal attempts 16 on 62.5% from the field. He was giving him that absolute work, right? Giving him that absolute work. No one else had performances like that against him. Just De'Aaron Fox. Also, let's see. Oops. Let's see if I can bring this up. Also, guys, he continuously has good performances against us. So, I mean, we've seen firsthand how good he is. So it's kind of shocking that you guys are like a little hesitant right now. Look at this. So over the course of his last few games, you see we got 22. We'll just do the points. 22 points, 23, 24, 33, 28, 43. He gave us a 43 piece. Not this last November, but the November before last. In 2023. He gave us a 43 piece. He gave us 28 before that, 31. I mean, he gives us that work. He gives us that work. And as far as assists, I mean, they've great assist numbers all the way out against us. He's a good player. Really good player. Anyways, that's all I really have to say. All right, let's move on.